Good morning.
Good morning.
Things are fill in the blank.
Still weird.
Yeah.
I think weird is just like a good word.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the kids are back in school, so that's good. Enjoying that, having fun with that.
Are they liking it?
Yeah. So Keisha's second day is technically today. Makai's been it. This is his fourth day.
Oh.
So he's a little further along. But yeah, he's made good friends. He likes his teachers.
Good.
Keisha really likes her teachers. The whole online thing still kind of freaks her out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like there's so much from so many teachers, it's easy to miss little details. So this is going to teach these kids to really pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
Because when, like, I know for me, when somebody sends me an email and it's like paragraph after paragraph, like it's so long, dude, I skim.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll be
totally.
the first to admit. I don't read all of that. I skim and try and get the gist of it. Now, if you bullet point it out, I'm going to read it all. I like bullet points. But when it's just like a whole bunch of on a paper, I'm like, or on an email, I'm like.
You would think that teachers wouldn't do that. Like, I feel like they should be more organized, you know?
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
so much information.
Yeah. Poor
But,
kids.
Yeah. Keisha will be fine. She's so flippin'
Yeah.
smart.
Good.
And I mean, Kai too. He's like, I was helping Makai with his math yesterday, and I'm like, let's write it all out. And he's like, shh. I just did it in my head.
Nice.
I was like,
Taylor's that way, and I'm like, what? How did you?
calculated that in
Yeah.
my head?
I didn't like math. Math was not my thing.
Me and math broke up a long time ago.
Yeah.
What are you drinking today?
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so I've got an iced coffee with cream and a shot of vanilla.
Yeah.
Yummy.
I did an iced Americano with 4 shots, because why not?
Whoa, it's a lot of cream.
They make it extra creamy.
It tastes like ice cream,
Oh,
like coffee ice cream.
wow.
I might be okay with it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Then I did hazelnut coconut as the flavors. You mix those together, and then I only do half of what they usually put in it because I don't like it too sweet. Splash of cream, but it was interesting because we went to Grounds for Coffee this morning. So the ice that they used is like the really, really, really crushed up ice, which I usually I love to just like eat. But in coffee, I don't love it because it melts so
Yeah,
fast.
I'm honestly not loving it either.
Yeah, like with coffee, I feel like you either have to use the coffee cubes or you have to use like the big, huge cubes because then they last longer. So little tip, when I make my iced coffee at home, I have the ice trays that you use for like scotch or whatever.
Yeah.
The big, huge round ones.
Yes.
So I put 2 of those in my iced coffee cup and then put my coffee in it, and
Nice.
those things keep it super cold.
That's a
because
good
it's at the
idea.
bottom and the top because they're so big.
Yeah.
And or sometimes I'll even fill them with coffee. If I'm feeling super
I've
ambitious.
done that
or the
before.
morning before.
With like leftover coffee
Yeah,
from the
yep.
pot. Just
Yep.
make coffee cubes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the the espresso is really nice. I like it's roasted very nicely. I thought that was good. I just don't love that super crushed ice in my coffee. I love that type of ice, just not in my coffee because it melts and waters down super quick.
Yeah. So my coffee's good. Did you say which one it was?
Grounds for Coffee on 25th.
Oh, on
in
25th.
Ogden.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and the gal who worked there, she was super cute, super sweet. I really
Nice.
liked her. Yeah. And
Very
she gave
good.
us little hearts.
I know, I like the little hearts.
Yeah.
Fun.
There was like probably 10 old timers just like kicking out front of the coffee shop that like you have to walk through to get in, and FYI, they don't move for you. You have to like wiggle around them. They were so funny. They don't even acknowledge you. Like not even a hey, how you doing? They are like so engulfed in their conversations. It was just kind of funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. Anyhow,
So,
let's talk about PPP
okay.
because we have not talked about that for a while.
Let's do it.
So I actually had a meeting yesterday with the fellow over at the SBA, and we talked about PPP forgiveness and a little bit of the EIDL, not quite as much because that The EIDL loans are so up in the air still.
The EIDL.
Yes.
Disaster loans.
Yes. yes.
I think it's like economic, injury?
Yes. It's something.
Disaster loan?
He just kept calling them EIDL, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go with that.
Makes sense.
So not a whole lot of information on that. Yeah, I actually went back through my contract or my note for the EIDL loan. And we still have some time to figure that one out. But on PPP, so he says the number one question that he gets asked is if the loan is less than $100,000, is it automatically forgiven? And he kind of chuckled. He's like, "That's cute." No, it's not. You still have to go through the process. Now, anything $2 million and over is automatically audited. So you better have your receipts. You better have your payroll reports, everything like that, because they will check. Now, anything 100,000 and less, the risk of getting audited is very small. However, in your contract, it says they have the right to check. So make sure you have your payroll reports, your utility, your canceled checks, anything like that for rent. So what I did yesterday is I just went through and I went and got all of the payroll. I printed out every payroll check that I have. For my bank statement, and then I printed off like all the utilities that I used it for, and then the council or just the cash checks for my rent. Printed all that off, stapled it. There is, oh my gosh, I was gonna remember the number. There is a form online. I'll have to find it and we can link it in
It's the 941.
Easy.
Is that it? Yeah.
Something
TC
like that.
941.
Yeah.
It's it's your tax report filing for, it's federal, and so.
So this is the forgiveness form. Sorry.
Okay, because I had to submit those for my forgiveness.
So you've already done it.
Yes.
Okay.
My bank did an online one,
Oh, that's
and I just did my payroll summary.
Oh yeah.
My utilities and my rent, and then I had to do those forms. There's a federal one because if you have payroll, they want to know what you reported to the state and federal, so you have to do that quarterly form.
Yeah. Yep. And then you put it all in a pretty little scan package, I guess you could. And then you don't submit that to the SBA. That was a question that a lot of people were asking too. Do we submit this to the SBA? No, you do not. You actually submit it to whoever financed your loan. So whoever your lender is.
Yeah.
Yes. So some lenders and banks are not ready to take those yet. They're not set up for it. So you really have to just call whoever you dealt with, whoever your account rep was, and ask them if they're ready to take it. I know that the lender that I got mine from is not ready to take those yet. So I've got it all ready.
That's good. You're ahead of the game.
But so as soon as they are ready, we'll send it in. And things are still changing with that. So
some people are saying it might be better to wait because things are changing so much. But I was like, I would rather just get mine in because I know that I qualify 100%.
Oh yeah,
and
me
so
too.
it's like,
there's nothing.
But I haven't heard anything back. Like I submitted it probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
and maybe they're just not.
They might be like waiting to see what happens.
Changes.
But
yeah, there's still some things that are up in the air with that. But when the time comes, I'm definitely ready.
I mean, they're deferred. Like I don't think my first payment's due until like November, so I'm not super worried about it.
We've got a little time.
Yeah.
Another question that several people asked is, what if I didn't use all the money? And his comment was, if you didn't use all that money, you better still have it in the bank.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're obviously gonna have to account for where that went, and then you will have to pay that portion of it back. But I'm not really, unless like the whole point of these loans was to keep your people on payroll.
Yeah.
So if you let people go and you have that much money, if you have money
you have
left,
to pay it back, I'm sure, pay a penalty,
but
because that's not what.
Why
the
would you let your
for.
people go if you have? So I was like, why y'all got more money?
Right.
You should have paid. You should have paid that to your people.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird.
Yeah. There's that too. I mean, I know that ours went super fast into between payroll and rent. Like it was done. Like there wasn't a lot left after that. Oh, and the other thing is, if you did get one of the larger loans in like the $1 to $2 million areas, if you paid your partners more than $100,000, you're in trouble. is what I got what I got from that whole conversation was there's definitely a cap that wasn't super
I was wondering about that because I was like, even with mine, I'm like, I'm gonna pay myself.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You gotta pay yourself.
But
yeah.
And
but how much?
I hope this doesn't come back. But like I paid myself more than I normally do. Because
well if you had up to $100,000.
Yeah. Well, I definitely did not pay myself more than $100K.
Me neither.
So
like we gotta minus several of those zeros. Just kidding, not several.
Well, and I actually turned around and put half of the earnings back into the business. So technically
you didn't really get paid that much.
I just paid a shit ton of taxes on paying myself, which was kind of a dumb idea.
So let's rewind.
Don't do what I did.
You're just giving the money back.
I basically just gave all the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really silly. But yeah.
So make sure you have make sure you kept really good records of everything in case they do come back and ask you for any of that, because it's well within their rights, and it's all in your loan documentation to document it all. So I hope that you did. And in the PPP loan forgiveness application form, like they have, I mean, it's all written out. What did you do for payroll? What did you do for your utilities? What did you do for rent? It's very clear, and they have just a quick mathematical equation on there that tells you, what amount you're eligible for forgiveness, and then what the amount is that you could possibly have to pay back. So it's pretty straightforward. As long as you kept good records, it's not bad at all. I think the whole application is one page, and then it's like initial here to acknowledge this, initial here to acknowledge this.
I was surprised at how easy that and the EIDL loan were. And
the EIDL loan, dude, you filled out a thing online.
You said that to me.
It took like 5 seconds.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and I was like, okay. And I didn't hear anything for like months, and then all of a sudden it was like, here you go, here's your money, and I was like, what?
Yeah. It was crazy.
So
crazy
easy.
fast.
So easy.
It was awesome.
We literally had to do nothing. I feel like with that one, and then
all of a sudden they like send you your loan notes, and they're like, "Hey, sign here, and in 3 days you're gonna have this amount of money.
We'll put it in your bank account." And
I
you're
was
like, "Oh,
is that easy? Like you don't want any documentation, you don't want like anything." And even if you weren't eligible, because Moxie Blankets was so new that Moxie Blankets did not qualify.
Yeah,
you still get the up to $10,000 for every employee, or you get $1,000 up to 10 for every employee that you have. Dude, that's free and clear. They just slide that they just slide it into your DM. It was so simple and easy. However, on that loan, one thing they did mention is that was an advance, so that is part of your loan. That is not free money that they just gave you. So when you go to pay that loan back, if it's not forgiven 100%, you do have to pay that initial chunk of money back, whether it was $1,000 or $10,000, depending on what you got. You do have to pay that back. Just an FYI.
And
a lot of people ask
that one, I felt like was a really good option, because even if you didn't qualify for forgiveness, the rate is stupid low.
It's over 30 years.
Yeah, it's a 30-year term, and the rate I think was like 1.49%.
Yeah, it's
so low. Yeah,
crazy low.
Yeah,
over 30 years.
Yeah,
30 years.
Maybe it was like 1.2. I just remember being like, it's under 2%. Like, I don't even care. I'm doing that. But yeah, and then there's another one that we've talked about in the past that we've kind of like pushed off to the side, but there's more funding coming through, so I feel like it's worth mentioning. Yeah. There's the Ogden Cares, the Weber County Cares, and then the Davis Cares. Yeah. And Salt Lake is doing it too.
And Clearfield City, if your business is located in Clearfield City.
Yeah, some of the cities have their own. Yeah, Ogden City has its own. So like for me, I couldn't do the Weber County. I'd have to do Ogden City.
Yeah.
And they're starting a new round of funding on September 1st. So
for Ogden or Weber County?
All of it. Even Salt Lake.
Everybody. So for every county, every city.
Yeah.
And that starts when?
September 1st.
Because I know that, okay, I don't know because I haven't seen the books, but I was told that Clearfield City and Davis County are both, both those ones are depleted, so they will be replenished in September.
Yeah.
So you can go back. So I actually talked to one of the guys, and he said you don't have to reapply. They got to however many they could, and now they'll just keep continuing going down that list.
That's good. So. I think that it said that either Ogden or Weber still had money left.
Oh, okay.
They did a certain amount, and then they still have some more, but they're starting a new round of applicants. So
yeah,
I had initially written it off because.
Oh, you never did it?
No, because what happened is in April we sold hand sanitizer, so our numbers went up.
Oh, yeah.
But then that stopped in May, and we've actually gone down in sales. And so I was talking to a friend of mine that works at US Bank, Chris Acosta. If you guys don't know him, he's awesome. Like, definitely use the crap out of that guy. He is all about small business. So there's a shout out to Chris. But so he was telling me that they really just look for a 4-week period.
So
that after March 1st. And I was like, oh, well, the last 4 weeks I'm golden. So I'm definitely gonna take advantage of that. And if any of you are in the same situation, like maybe you had a really great month and then tanked, it's still worth looking at, I think. So, and
absolutely.
That's 100% free money. That's a grant.
Yeah, that's a grant. You don't have to pay that back.
Yeah.
So they are smaller amounts. I think the lowest is $1,000 and the highest is $30,000. I think that's what it was for Clearfield and Davis County. I don't know if it's the same for Weber and Ogden, but even $1,000
free money. Free money.
Yeah, who doesn't want an extra $1,000 bucks?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend it. And the process for that, those ones, I feel like the applications were a little bit more robust. They did want some additional paperwork. But as long as you got your book squared away, you're golden. It's not hard at all. So.
If you have a good accountant, don't even worry about your books.
See, I don't like people messing with my money, playing with my money. So
you know,
I do all on my own. So
I did our books for 4 years, I think. I've only had an accountant for like the last year. Oh my gosh, it has taken such a weight off of me. But
that's good.
And I found a really great priced one. Like,
oh, that's good.
It's ridiculous how awesome he is. And so I trust him. But and that is what I would say to anybody. If you ever look at getting an accountant, interview a few of them. Do not be afraid.
This is your money, folks.
Right. Like, do not be afraid to like sit them down and see if you guys even just mesh.
Yeah,
because you got to be able to communicate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My first one was a train wreck. She was recommended to me by several people.
My first one was as well. And the money I was paying that, the money I was paying that heifer for the amount of work was terrifying. So I was like,
and she messed up my books. My new accountant had to go in and fix everything. Yeah. So it was kind of a nightmare. So definitely there's good and there's bad. And you know, she probably works well for a lot of people.
Right.
But for us, for me,
No.
And my new one is great. He's on autopilot. I just like make sure my receipts and my bank statements are in our little shared folder.
Yeah.
He does the things. And then seriously, guys, he's so ridiculously inexpensive. When he gets to a certain amount, he'll pull it from my bank account. That only happens like maybe once every 6 months.
Well, there you go.
I don't have a lot. I mean, I really don't, because everything is streamlined pretty well.
Yeah.
But
that's mine is too. I mean, with Mox Agency, it's the same people being billed pretty much every month. I mean, we do take piecework, but super simple.
Yeah.
Moxie blankets, I don't have 8 million different working parts, you know.
Yeah.
Thread, material, glass
right.
beads. Like, you know, it's not in the boxes.
Yeah.
It's pretty low key, so it's really not that hard. So for me, I personally I really don't need an accountant right now. Now, I fully intend to grow and become, you know, super awesome.
I like this.
Yes. But I'm still a baller on a budget. Not quite, you know, not quite that cool, but I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. And you know,
So
if you guys want recommendations, I'm happy to give you a recommendation.
Yeah.
Don't ask me who not to work with, because I mean, I don't feel like that's I guess you could.
We don't want to
like,
pass. In this, it's like an absolutely horrifying experience. If it is that, then I'll be like, hey, you should probably stay away from this person.
Right. But I know that the one that I used at first, she works well for a lot of people, so I wouldn't want to be like, don't use her.
Right.
But one of my biggest hangups is like, me and you, we've done our books ourselves, so we have a great understanding of how accounting works.
Yep.
Homegirl wanted to sit there and explain to me how accounting works.
Don't
And I was like,
glassy-eyed,
like, dude, I already know all of this. And so my new accountant, he was so good because he would like kind of just tiptoe around, and I'd be like, yeah, I understand. And he would be like, cool, and move on. And I'm like, that's what I need.
Yeah.
And if I have a question for him, I'm like, how does this work? And he'll explain it to me, and I'm like, cool.
Done.
Super easy.
Tax stuff, don't ever ask me for tax advice. Ever. that I need an accountant for.
That's worth paying for.
Oh.
100%.
No.
I did our business taxes for the first 4 years because I have a good idea of tax.
Yeah.
But then I started like second guessing myself, and I'm like, if I get audited, how confident am I that I did this right? And so then my guy came in, he's like, actually they look pretty good. And I was like, cool. So we're gonna leave those.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it going forward. So yeah. So anyway.
The whole
where to take shortcuts, where not to take shortcuts.
On taxes, nobody will take your home, your life, your business quicker than Uncle Sam. So don't mess with that man.
Nope. Anyway, well, I think that's like a good spot to stop today. Do you have a sexism of the week?
No, not really. Nothing like overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think I do either.
Progress.
Yeah.
Making progress. That's a good thing. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
So until next week, don't forget to caffeinate.
And hydrate. Bye.
Have a good week.